Salam alaikum. Can I take a photo? A photo? You guys? You guys? Come. Come. Thank you. Thank you. Gorgeous, thank you. It's amazing, see, take a picture of one, they all want a picture. So for those of you that watch my channel regularly, and a massive thumbs up to you guys for doing so, you'll know that I recently went to Bahrain, and I've already put out a couple of videos on my first two parts of Bahrain. This is the last part where I go to an air show, and also went out to try and find some photographs and some compositions near around the hotel where we were staying. There wasn't much around there in way of life. It was a nice and peaceful place, nice and quiet, but when I went outside to take photographs, it was really hard to try and find some compositions or anything decent. And I had some spare time on my hand, so I took out the Nikon FM3a camera with a 28mm lens, and I thought I'd try out a roll of this Agent Shadow 400, which my mate gave me, and said, Rod, see what you can do with this. So I took that in and around outside, sorry, of the hotel where I was staying, and I just went off for a wander. It was pretty tricky to try and find compositions, to say the least, because it was such a wide open place. But I managed to find an old building site, and at the back of some hotels that I managed to find some compositions. So I'll let that video run, guys, and if anyone's kind of feeling a little bit of a slump with their photography, although I was on holiday and everything was different, I did find it a challenge trying to take some pictures, but I wanted to shoot some photographs. So, you know, I just took the bull by the horns, went out with a camera and did just that. So in my last video, I was over there, over this place here. I sort of got over the railings, I got through the barbed wire fence, and apparently I was on a military area, so I better steer clear of it. I think I got lucky last time not to have got caught. But you can see where I am. Let's walk over the road. There's the hotel behind me that we're staying at. But you can see there's no shops, no tourist shops. It's just local people and a road between a hotel and some houses. And over that way, over that mound, is that military area I was talking about, which looks like a flat rock desert. But I found that quite interesting because there was road signs and all sorts of stuff that I could take photographs of. Right? And look at that. The guy don't even know me, they're waving. That's one thing that's astonished me about this country or this kingdom, is walking around and people just smile and wave at you. See, road signs, I find these road signs, obviously this is going to be different for me because this is stuff that I don't see at home. So there's a reduced speed road sign there. I'm going to get a photograph of that. On this camera I've got a 28mm lens. Some of you might say, well, it's a bit wide, isn't it? But not really, because I can get real close up and get some nice wide angles. And you might think to yourself, well, it's just a road sign, you know? Well, it is just a road sign, but at home we don't get these sort of road signs with the Arabic writing on it. In fact, the little curve where it says reduced speed, there's a bend, that's peeling off. Looks like a piece of bin liner just stuck on it. But I can get a photograph. I can either get the road in or get the road out. I'm choosing to get the road out and just get some kind of angle on it. And using this wide, I can come down. All I've got is a reduced speed sign and nothing else. Just put it off centre slightly, a little bit of get it coming from the corner up. F22. Done. And again, I'm just walking away from the hotel. I shouldn't get lost because there's a road here, and there's some buildings over this way. I think these might be residential apartments over here, or maybe other hotels, I don't know, I haven't ventured out yet. But there's not much around in way of people or anything that you'd think to yourself, wow, that'd make a nice photograph, etc. I've got to try and look for it. It's not sticking out to me, I've got to look for it. I found some building works going on, look. Over there we've got some building works going on. I wonder if I can get in there and take a couple of photographs. If this was the UK, I walked into somewhere like that, someone would definitely come screaming at me, telling me to get off. But over here, some old tyres over there. Look at that, looks like someone's wedding bouquet. Looks like they might have had a wedding around here and the bouquet's been thrown on top of these crates in this little skip yard area. I wonder if there's anything around here that I can get a picture of. You know? Old road sign. There's an old wine bottle by the looks of it sitting there. F22, let's go to F16, 1/500th of a second, get a little bit closer on it. Done. An old wine bottle sitting in a dump site. I don't know why I just took a photograph of it, you know. There's a lot of stuff there, but the wine bottle just seemed to have, it was old, it was dusty, amongst all the other rubbish. Might tell a story that someone was sitting there hiding away, having a bottle of plonk. So we'll have a quick break from that video, guys. We'll come to that in a moment. I want to show you the Bahrain International Air Show that I went to, which was held over 3 days, and this was an absolute spectacle. It was fantastic. We went there on the last day just for a couple of hours, and the Red Arrows were there as well from the UK. The Red Arrows were there blasting over, so that was good to see. And I took the Nikon FM3a, but I made a grave mistake. I didn't realise halfway through shooting a roll, it was Foam Pan 200, which I was shooting at 100. I realised I was shooting 4,000th of a second. I thought I was on aperture priority mode, and the aperture priority mode is just one notch next to 4,000th. So I probably didn't have my glasses on or something. And halfway through, I've looked down, I've gone, oh no, I'm shooting 4,000th of a second, and I've taken a load of photographs. But I'll show you those images. They ain't that bad. They're not that bad at all. I'll quickly show you now. They are underexposed, but they've kind of got a different look on their own. And then once I'd rectified my mistake, I then felt a little bit better, but we only had about another half hour or so there. And again, I didn't overshoot stuff like the whole of Bahrain. I didn't want to keep a camera on my eyes all the time. I wanted to experience it, you know, without a camera, which I think a lot of us sometimes fail to do. When we go on holiday, we feel like we've got to take pictures of everything, and when you get home you see all the pictures, but you realise you didn't really experience it through your own eyes. So I tried to do that in Bahrain and also the International Air Show as well. I only shot one roll there. So I'll carry on with the compositions that I'll try to find in and around the hotel, and also nearly fainted at some point. I'll let that roll, let you guys watch that. It's like, these must be carports, but this could make an interesting photograph. See this flapping around? That might be nice to get on a slow shutter maybe, but I'm using a 400 speed film. I don't think that's going to work. It might do. I'm going to get a few photographs around here. I quite like this. Looks deserted. Looks like there should be people here, but there's not. It looks a bit run down wherever I am. And this is all building works. I don't know what's going on. But we'll try a few photographs here. Okay, I'm not going to get a slow shutter speed on this. I'm at f22. Outside is 250th. Yep, 250th outside. Inside, in the shadow area, is around about 130th. So I'm going to go to 125 and see how this film performs with a bit of shadow and a bit of highlight as well. I want the wind to come through a little bit. See if I can get right through. Coming down more, so I can get the edge of it. Here you go. There. Try another one. Just need it to come back more. We'll grab it. It's like a kite. Oh. Sometimes I bend down and get up too quick. Oh, there you go. I get these vertigo attacks. I got down then, I got up too quick. I felt like I was going to fall over. I don't know what that's about. Strange, isn't it, how something just takes your fancy, and it's not because there's nothing else around. I just think I like the creases. I just like this, it's interesting. You know, it's a car tent to keep your car cool when it's in the hot weather. And it's got nice curves and nice tones going on, I reckon. Hopefully this agent shadow performs well for me. It says danger, but I think that's what it says. Looks like danger. It's so old. Worth taking a picture of, I reckon. I'll get real close with this 28mm, kind of a wide effect. And then everything else in the background is kind of like, looks like rubble, building works. Do I go portrait, landscape? I'll stay landscape. Just took my eye then. And maybe I know why it says danger. If I'd just started walking backwards, look at that, I would have gone down that hole. My God. So it's not the best health and safety around here, but I think in the Western world, we're health and safety freaks now. We're kind of like controlled by health and safety. Of course, it keeps us safe, it keeps us healthy. Sometimes it's too much, you know, like, can I borrow a pair of scissors? No, I can't let you borrow that, sorry, it's health and safety, you'll have to bring your own. You what? I just want to cut a thread off my pants, you know? So I've walked down, I think I'm on a building site. There's no signs saying keep out or anything like that, just those danger signs. Maybe that's a sign itself, I couldn't hardly read it. But look at this old hut, thought I'd come and take pictures of that. And I think today's Friday, it's like a Saturday here. So there's no one working. I'm not going in there, it doesn't look safe. That was pretty cool. Oh, okay. I've got a shot here at the back. This. So if you're ever stuck for ideas, I've said plenty of times on my channel about just, you know, people get bored of where they live, and I do. But just going out and taking photographs and trying different things, different angles, different compositions, getting on your back, getting on your belly, looking down, looking up. You generally find photographs all around you. It's just opening your mind. What I do is often imagine what a composition would look like printed in black and white, obviously, because I'm shooting black and white. If it was colour, same thing. And imagine how it would be in a print, in a frame, and what room I'd put it in. Would that composition or scene suit that wall in that room of my house, you know, or maybe one of my mates' houses. Look, I thought of you, took this picture, printed it, framed it, bosh. Oh, cheers, mate, you know, or something like that. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is there's nothing around here really interesting to take photographs of, but there is if you open your eyes. Whew. So I just took that composition there, but trying to make it a little bit more interesting by bringing the lines diagonally across the frame. If I missed it slightly, I can always recrop in a print. But you know, it's just an interesting subject, and then try and compose it a little bit interestingly. If there's lines and stuff, I'm sweating. Oh, it's hot, man. It's so hot. What a wimp! I'm having to wimp out. I'm walking around. I'm getting so hot. Every time I bend down to take a photograph, I get back up, and I'm nearly falling over. I'm getting so my head's going so dizzy. I don't know why. Is there any doctors out there? Can you let me know why? What I need to do. I wonder if that'll make a nice photograph somewhere. Let's try it without bending down. I haven't seen any people yet. These must be workers. Morning. Morning, guys. Keep coming. Yes, thank you. Welcome, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Can I take a photo? A photo? You guys? You guys? Come. Come. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll just stop the video for a sec, guys, and show you one of these prints being made. This is the one with the guys, the workers, I think they're Indian workers around the area. It's quite a tricky print. I need to use a little dodge tool like this to dodge their faces for a few seconds each one. So I've closed the aperture down to give me more time on the enlarger to do a little bit of dodging. 20 seconds contrast 0, 25 seconds contrast 5, just to try and build the contrast up. Then I need to burn a little tiny bit in the sky. So let's see if this works. I can hardly see it, but okay. Contrast 0, ready up there. Go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A little bit more on this guy here. He was darker than the others. And now we put the contrast 5 filter in. Do the same again, but this time 25 seconds. This is what my test was showing. So it goes. 25 seconds contrast 5. I won't even be able to hardly see it now. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it goes to the developer. And I don't know why I like this photograph. It's just real, you know. These guys are all dusty, dirty. No health and safety lark, no high-vis jackets, just their rags and clothes. Off to work they go. It's kind of interesting. So it's just coming through now. The only thing I don't want to do is their face is too dark. So as soon as I start seeing my background in, which is about now we can, I'm going to pull it now, put it in the stop. I think that's about enough. And there it is in the stop bath. So I'll get this washed and fixed, or fixed and washed, and I'll show you this print. And there it is there. So that doesn't look that bad at all. Quite low contrast, I noticed. I developed this in Kodak D76 1 part to 1 part. That's why I used the contrast 5 filter to try and boost it a little bit. But I had to dodge their faces for a few seconds each time, like you saw me do, like so. But the pictures come out quite nice. I like the scene. Look at this guy's hat. It's brilliant. His hat, his scarf, a gutra, and this guy as well. And these guys not even wearing one, so maybe they're a bit thin on top, worried about the heat. This guy's got his mobile phone in his pocket, but This guy's got some rags slung over his shoulder, but you can see how filthy they are where they're workers. No high vis, nothing like that. It's just amazing to see. And I've just got a little tiny bit of the negative showing at the bottom here, you can see it, but that doesn't bother me whatsoever. If I frame that, that will cover that. Good, thank you. It's amazing, you see, take a picture of one, they all want a picture. Oh, one more photo. Oh, glutton for punishment. Feet run over. Bit of road, bit of lines, bit of brickwork, lead posts and palm trees, and a sign in the background. Get the golf buggy back. So it's been pretty tricky in the darkroom, trying to get some prints out of these shadow 400 agent shadow negatives. Much easier in Photoshop, obviously. In the darkroom, trying all sorts of contrast filters, I just can't seem to bring any punch out of this film. But if you look at the negatives, they do look a little bit underdeveloped, even though I went at the right times. So maybe a little bit more development, or just change my development process if I use this film again. This print here of the bottle, I actually quite like it. Contrast 0, contrast 5, bit of split grading, and I dodged this area here just to try and throw the highlight in the bottle there, which you can see. But it's a nothing picture. I thought it'd look alright, but it's a load of rubbish, literally. And I've got these two here of the car canopy as well. Canopy, can't eat it. Car canopy. This print here, this was a contrast 5 filter and a little bit of contrast 0. I've vignetted the shit out of this one, trying to pull that in. So I kind of swerved that idea. I thought, okay, we'll try another one. And then I tried this one here. This time just trying to burn in this area, but I realised this is going to take me too much paper to try and get right. For a print that's really not going to float my boat in any way, I much prefer the Indian workers if I was to print any of these. So out of all those negatives, I preferred the Indian guys ones out of all of them. Just an interesting bunch of workers there, and over time, in time, maybe 10, 15, 20 years time, I could look back at this and go, oh, I remember that day. But so yeah, that was my last day in Bahrain, and like I said, I had a bit of time to kill, so I went for a wander with my camera and just took photographs. Without the camera, I probably wouldn't have gone wandering as much as I did. Probably just gone up the road and back and gone back to the hotel and had a hot dog or something. I didn't sell hot dogs. But I guess the point of shooting and making that video was, you know, if you're stuck for ideas, just put a roll of film or digital or your phone or whatever, and just go out and take some photographs in your local area or somewhere, and just challenge yourself, you know, see if you can, you might be surprised, you might come back with something that's decent, or something might approach you all of a sudden, you go, wow, I'm glad I came here with my camera, there weren't much to shoot, but this happened and I managed to capture it on film. Like these workers, I didn't know these guys were going to come back from work, and I managed to get a few more headshots in. So that comes to the end of my Bahrain adventures. 3 episodes, there's a first part and a second part. I'll put a link in the description if you haven't already seen it, and I'll put links at the end of this video for you guys to just click on it if you haven't seen it. But thanks very much for watching, those who did watch, and also this episode as well. I had a fantastic time out in Bahrain, wonderful country, wonderful people, and I've got to say a massive thanks to the people that was there helping me shoot photographs, James and Nigel and Ahmed. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you next time. Oh, and my wife and daughter.